Well, imposter syndrome can feel debilitating for some people. They may feel suffocated under the negative thinking and self-doubt.
Yeah, but instead of suffering, you may be able to use it to your advantage. Psychotherapist Dr. Robi Ludwig is here to explain how imposter syndrome can actually help you succeed. Interesting. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So some people might not know what imposter syndrome is. What is it?
So 70% of the population has it. So it's really, really common. And it's when a person feels fraudulent, that they got their success accidentally, and they're battling with frequent self-doubt. So very, very common. And it can be a very good thing.
I feel like a lot of people deal with this when their idols become their rivals. You know, the people they looked up in an industry, and now they're in that industry, and they're like comrades. So does it have anything to do with confidence, though?
You know, people say that it does, but it really has to do with fear of failure or fear of success or fear of being exposed for not being enough. But where the good thing is that we really know too much about ourselves. So we're comparing every single thing that we know about ourselves to somebody else. And we can't see ourselves accurately because we can't be objective. So when we see ourselves as less than, we're not really believing how other people experience us.
And you said it can be a good thing. I heard you say that.
It could be a good thing because,
how so?
Yes, because it's pushing you out of your comfort zone. If we stay in our comfort zone, then we could feel comfortable and we could feel like the smartest person in the room. But if you are really ambitious, then you're going to find yourself uncomfortable in certain situations. But that means that you have an opportunity to grow. So if you feel that you're in one place and somebody asks you to do something you don't think you can do, it gives you an opportunity to be that person.
I was telling Candace, like, a lot of times I get nerves, but I feel like those nerves help fuel me to do better.
That's right.
Like
That's exactly right.
So can self-doubt actually prevent someone from growing and actually pushing themselves?
I think it can if people believe in the self-doubt, if they don't push themselves. So if they say, I'm doubting myself, I can't do it, and they don't push themselves, that's when it can be negative. But if they can turn it around and see it differently, see it as an opportunity to lean in and learn. And it's not about failing, it's about being in an exciting opportunity that's a gift, really, if you can, you know, reevaluate how you experience it.
Is there a racial component to it? I have so many friends who are in BIPOC community who were like, I'm being an imposter because we didn't have any trailblazers in certain fields, and so you feel like you're an imposter once you get into a certain situation.
That's so
or you're
interesting.
the only one.
Yeah, if you're the only. I think it does help to have role models, and I would say in that kind of circumstance to trust the people around you who believe in you, because they may know more about you than you know about yourself, and so to rely on that kind of support if you're feeling like an imposter. But it just means that you're putting yourself in places that you need to be, and that's very exciting.
Look, if we get in a position where we feel like we don't belong, we're just going to call you Dr.
Exactly.
Robi.
You know what? I just always say yes, and I'm like, I'll figure it out later.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Dr. Robi, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
And for more mental health tips, you can follow Dr. Robi on Instagram. The information is right there on your screen, and we'll be right back.